What's up YouTube, it's Philo here and welcome back to Philo Forever. Today, the newest Godzilla movie comes out in theaters, Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm not gonna do a review about that yet until I see it, but I wanna talk about my 5 favorite Godzilla movies that I saw growing up. And if you have some favorites as well that I don't even mention on this list, or if you like my list, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm gonna start with number 5, and that's the first Godzilla movie that I saw in theaters, and that is Godzilla 2000. Godzilla 2000, I think, is such an underrated Godzilla movie. It was the first Godzilla movie I saw in theaters. I never saw the '98 one in theaters, but, you know, was I missing out? Godzilla 2000 was a great return for Godzilla after the 1998 movie. It involved a new monster called Orga, and one of my favorite things about this that I remember, this is a spoiler alert I suppose, is Orga eats Godzilla's head, puts his whole mouth around it, and then Godzilla breathes fire and I think destroys him. It's been a while since I've seen it. I should probably watch it again, but if you haven't seen Godzilla 2000, I definitely recommend it, and that's why I put it at number 5. I remember going to Sam's Club a lot with my parents, and there would always be a giant bin full of Godzilla VHS tapes. And every time I'd go, I'd be like, can I get one? You know, they'd be like the cheaper ones. And so somewhere in my parents' basement, I have just a whole bunch of VHS of Godzilla movies. That's what most of this list consists of, because these are the movies that I grew up watching. Number 4 is Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 1974. This was such a cool movie. Mechagodzilla is so awesome, and I remember even mimicking just the way he'd move his hands around and shoot missiles off his fingers and stuff like that. When Mechagodzilla was attacking with the Godzilla skin over the top, it's clearly that's not Godzilla. He sounds totally different. He makes that noise or whatever. He doesn't actually do that normal Godzilla roar, but the characters are still it's Godzilla, it has to be. And it involves aliens and King Caesar, and was Mothra in this one, I think? Yeah, Mothra. There was just so much going on, and you get a pretty epic battle at the end between Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. Totally worth watching. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 1974. I know there's been a lot of Mechagodzilla movies, but this one was my favorite. Number 3 is the original, Gojira, from 1954. Not Godzilla King of the Monsters, the re-release that they did a year or two later, because that was heavily edited. I recommend watching the actual original, unedited, in Japanese with subtitles, because I think it holds up in terms of story. In terms of effects, maybe not so much. Watching the original Godzilla and understanding kind of when it came out and what the circumstances were, it's a lot more serious movie than you might expect. Godzilla became more of a pop culture icon much later on, and almost comedic in some aspects. This first movie is definitely on my list and definitely worth a watch. Number 2 is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, 1991. This was another one that I owned on VHS. This one is a classic. Anything with King Ghidorah is great. I really enjoyed the recent Godzilla King of the Monsters, but this battle with King Ghidorah was by far the best one, I think. Because not only, spoiler alert, does Godzilla fight King Ghidorah in this movie, he also fights Mecha King Ghidorah. There's time travel, and there's so much going on in this movie. It's so over the top and ridiculous. So in this movie, Godzilla was a dinosaur that apparently they saw in World War II, and because of nuclear bombs or nuclear testing, it turned into Godzilla. There's a lot involved with time travel to try to prevent Godzilla from being created and all sorts of stuff. It's really all over the place. Just watch it. Just for some of the awesome kaiju battles in this film. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from 1991. But my number 1 favorite Godzilla movie is another one from the 90s, and that is 1995's Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. If you have not seen Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, you are missing out. The 90s were awesome for Godzilla movies, the first half of the 90s. It is the last Godzilla movie before the American one, and like a lot of the later Godzilla movies, it's basically a sequel to just the original 1954 film and ignores everything else. It's almost kind of a horror film in a lot of ways at first. I remember being scared of it when I was a kid. Godzilla basically in this movie is orange at points because he's overheating. He's about to go through a nuclear meltdown, which is just a ridiculous series. He's basically just a walking nuclear bomb that could go off at any second. Destoroyah is this oxygen destroyer organism that keeps evolving into this bigger and bigger thing, and it's such a good watch. I totally recommend it. Let me know what you think of my list in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I missing something? I don't know. Let me know what you think of the current Godzilla series. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you wish that they make more Japanese live-action movies? I know the Godzilla Singular Point anime is coming out this summer, so I'll probably check that out. But that's my list of my 5 favorite Godzilla movies. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you real soon.